Well, as you get to the final week of spring ball, are the same things coming up, or is it encouraging that you're not having to coach the same things over and over again?
We're getting better. That's one thing I can say about our football team in this spring. Each and every day we've gotten better. We've had 2 outstanding practices this week leading up to today's scrimmage, and we expect a big-time scrimmage out of our guys today. Be some highly motivated guys ready to compete, and it's a big scrimmage for us. It's going to go out. We're going to go out and have a scrimmage like a game. It's not a situational scrimmage this time now. We're going to have coaches in the press box and on the sideline and do substitutions and everything else, but actually go out and play it like a game. So that'll be fun to watch these guys go out and compete.
Is the only difference between today and next Saturday is no one's watching, or?
We're going to draft for the spring game, which would be pretty cool. We went this week. Our coaches had from Sunday until this past Thursday to get free agents for the draft. They're able to get 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player for their team, and then we'll have our draft tonight for the spring game. So that part will be different. But today is just going out and getting better and competing, and another really big evaluation day for us.
Are the coordinators drafting? Is that how it's separated?
We actually picked the names out of a hat who's going to be the head coach for each team, and Coach Woody and Coach Hayward will be the head coach for both teams, and I'll be the commissioner.
So who are those free agents that they picked up?
Royce Freeman and Ugo is one of them, and then you got Jake Hansen and the freshman Jordan Scott as the other free agent for the team. So it'll be interesting.
What about Scott then has impressed them?
Everything. From the time he's gotten here, the kid has been very impressive. We asked him to lose weight. He's doing that with enthusiasm, and he's going out and competing every single day and really gaining the respect not only from the coaching staff, but from his teammates by the plays that he's making on the football field. The kid's going to be special.
Has there been any talk in between these head coaches about I'm coming for this guy, or any bartering?
There's been a lot of talk and a lot of side door meetings and everything going on. It'd be really interesting to see who's the number 1 pick in the draft. And I thought the free agent was pretty interesting. But it's usually those guys get out there, get competitive.
Who decides those 4 players for free agency? Who decides that those 4 guys are the free agents?
Oh, the head coaches on this team. They have, like I say, from Sunday to Thursday to do whatever they can within the NCAA rules to entice the guys to get on their team. And see if they can get them. So those are the guys they wanted.
If you had first pick, who would you pick?
I don't have first pick.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, you said you wanted to leave spring saying you're good at something. 2 weeks in, what are you best at, and what do you want to be best at by the end of week 3?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're pretty good at competing right now. So I'm excited about that. And like I say, our guys are getting better in every area. It's hard to say exactly what we're good at right now. I know at the end of spring I'll be able to say that, but our guys are they're getting better at the most important thing is practicing the way that we want them to practice, and competing and having fun competing, where it's not coming out here and it's just work and it's just dreadful. Guys are having fun competing, having fun working, and that's great to see. And they're learning to do it without the help of the coaches, and that's encouraging.
Did it feel like beginning of spring practice that everybody on this team was sort of learning like they're freshmen again with the new system, and then sort of do you feel like everybody has moved on from that, sort of learning like a freshman?
And I think not just with the players, as coaches as well. A lot of these guys haven't coached with before, so they had to learn and understand how we practice as well. So it's been a learning lesson for everyone. But I think everyone embraced it, and they're getting better. And like I said, the last 2 practices for sure has been everything we wanted out of our guys, especially from a competitive standpoint and enthusiasm standpoint. Really getting out there, defense making plays, offense come back making plays, going back and forth, and it's been fun to watch and watching those guys improve.
What do you think clicked? Why the last 2 practices? What clicked?
Repetition. The more you do things, the better you get at it. And doing it over and over again, you start to understand exactly what it is Coach wants from you, and then when you're making plays, it's easier to have fun when you're making plays out there. So I just think repetition, and then when they see that and see the enthusiasm and practice. practice, they kind of feed off of it. So just doing it over and over again, I think really helped.
How much are you leaning on Darren and Charles to kind of lead the receivers until you get those recruits in here to add some depth and speed?
Very much, very much so. And really all the guys, we're leaning on everyone that's here, but those guys, they're learning too. They're learning a new system, but they're making plays, and those guys are very talented, and that's good to see. And I think more importantly for those guys is just leadership. You want them to come out here and lead and hold their teammates accountable, themselves and their teammates accountable to getting better and competing and making the plays that we want. And that's one thing I'm challenging, especially the senior classes, is to hold everyone accountable on this football team and be able to leave here saying that we got the University of Oregon football program back on track.
Coach, where did you and Coach Willie first meet? And kind of the relationship?
Where did we first meet?
Yeah, where did you guys first meet?
I was on the football field and he was coaching. And we played against the University of South Florida. And I was at Western Kentucky and we beat them. And they were ranked, I think they were like number 4 in the country. And we played down in Raymond James and had my best ball game ever against him. And he remembered that day ever since. And when I started coaching, I saw him on the road all the time. He always reminded me of that game. So our friendship started growing since then. And then with him being out with San Francisco with Coach Harbaugh, going out and visiting those guys, just continued.
With him, he's kind of built a few programs kind of from the ground up, like not so love and that kind of Kansas State a little bit too. Is that kind of what you were looking for in a defensive coordinator? He kind of fit what you were looking for?
Not necessarily to build anything. I think I got a pretty good idea of how we want to do that, but build our defense up and get that going again. Everywhere he's been, he's been a part of a really good defense. When he was the head coach at South Florida, the defense was dominant every year. And then I think we all know what they did at San Fran. They had a really dominant defense there, and then the job that he did at Colorado was very impressive. And again, he's a defensive mind. He's been trained by some great defensive coaches, and he's been associated with a lot of them. So, and then his personality and his energy and all those things is what I was looking for as a defensive coordinator. And I do believe that the team plays like your coach's personality. So I expect for our guys to play like Coach Levy's personality. I don't want them all drinking Pepsi, but I want them to play like his personality.
The specialists have an interesting arrangement where they can have a lot of time with themselves in the practice field. They don't have a dedicated coach day in and day out. Why do you like that arrangement where they get some time to kind of work by themselves?
That's kind of just the world we live in. That's kind of how the specialist goes. And I wouldn't say they don't have any. They work. We have a plan for them every single day, and they work. And we have periods where they got to be ready to come in, and whether it's kicking field goals or it's punting, But every day we have a plan for those guys. So I wouldn't say they off on their own, but specialists are a little different, and they need that time. They're kind of like golfers and pitchers in golf. In baseball. And they're working and they're challenged. We challenge them every day.
They said that they kind of like that you will just bring them into a drill and say you got to kick right now, and they don't necessarily know it's coming. Do you like springing that challenge on
I do, because you just never know in football. In the game of football, when you're going to be needed. You got to always be ready. And again, you never know when we're going to need one of those guys to win a ball game for us. So we try to create those situations for our guys, game-like situations, and making sure they're warming up and practicing, doing the things they need so they can come in and make plays for us.
Got a lot of high school coaches here. How do you balance coaches clinic and spring ball, and what's your impressions of the turnout you've got so far?
We had practice yesterday morning, and a lot of the coaches was out watching us practice, and then yesterday evening we spent all of our time with the high school coaches, and that was great. We took this clinic as an opportunity to where we can talk ball and build relationships. A lot of us are new. We don't understand or know the state of Oregon, and it's all about building those relationships. And we're a little behind with the relationship because we got in here late. So we're really trying to find a way to build those relationships and let them know how important the state of Oregon is for us. And I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great turnout, really great turnout. I was really impressed with our coaches in there too, and just the way they presented themselves to the guys. But I thought it was mission accomplished. We want to talk ball and build relationships, and I think we built a lot of relationships.
Thanks, Willie.
Appreciate you all.
Yes, sir.